Welcome or welcome back to the Leaders Chat Room. I am so happy that you've joined us today. If this is your first time joining me on the Leaders Chat Room, then welcome. Thank you for joining us for this ride. And if you have not yet done so, please subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button so you would be aware when we drop new videos. If you are returning to the Leaders Chat Room, I want to say thank you so much for your support and your continued viewing of our videos. So I want you to share it, comment on it, let us know how the content is for you. So today I want to treat with how you as a leader can prepare for the incoming recession. We have been hearing talk about the recession for quite a while, actually a couple of years. But more recently, we would have seen the collapse of the Silicon Valley Bank, and that sent chills up some spines. And so as a leader, I thought it important to come and share with you some things that you can do to get ready. Now, we would have witnessed almost 3 years ago when COVID-19 hit the earth and many leaders found themselves in crisis. And leading through crisis is not easy, but many leaders did not face it well. And so we don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past. We want to be ready beforehand. And even if it is you do find yourself in a sudden crisis, much like COVID-19, you will know how to adapt and how to adapt effectively. So the first thing when it comes to treating with the recession or any other crisis like situation, the first thing you want to do is to get the facts. You want to be well informed. You want to be aware of what is happening, and you want to get that information from credible sources, and you want to be locked in. Your decisions are supposed to be founded and based on real, credible information, on facts and relevant facts that truly impact you, your organization, and your people. So you want to be dialed in. Now, you don't have to do this yourself. You can ask someone else or delegate someone in your team to do it, but it doesn't hurt for you as the leader to also be plugged in. You don't want to bury your head in the sand. You want to know what is happening. But in the same token, you also want to remain positive. That's the second thing. You must remain positive and optimistic as a leader. There's no time to be negative. There's no time to be pessimistic. Things happen all the time that we don't like happening or that we don't want to happen. But we as leaders have to find the opportunities in all of those situations. So remain positive. It is very difficult for you to see an opportunity if it is your mindset is negative or if it is your pessimistic. In fact, I would say very frankly, being positive or optimistic is perhaps a prerequisite for being a fantastic leader. You will not be an effective, exceptional, extraordinary leader if you're negative or you're negative in your mindset. It just doesn't happen. I have never seen an exceptional negative leader. It just doesn't exist. It just seems like an oxymoron. It's just strange. It doesn't occur. So if it is you struggle with a lot of negative thoughts or pessimistic, then I want to encourage you to start to feed yourself with positive things, videos, quotes, readings, and most of all, people. Surround yourself with people who are positive, who can speak life into you, who can encourage you. Because the truth is, sometimes you may feel discouraged. Sometimes you may feel worn out and you may feel weary mentally. But the key is not to stay there. So I want to encourage you as you go into this period, find your positive people to be around you, to help you remain positive through this process. The next thing that you want to do as you remain positive is that you want to look for the opportunities in this incoming recession, or as I said, any other crisis type situation. Because in any crisis, there is always an equal opportunity for you or your organization to benefit. Find that opportunity. Anything you are looking for, you will find. If you go out to purchase a fantastic vehicle, brand new vehicle, all right, let's just say a new Range Rover. And as you go and you test drive that Range Rover, all of a sudden on the road, you start seeing this particular Range Rover. It's not that people went out and started purchasing that vehicle when you wanted to buy it. What happened was, because now it is in your consciousness, it's now in your awareness, you start to notice it all around you. It's very much the same way. Let opportunity be in your consciousness. Let opportunity be in your awareness so that you go looking for opportunity. And that way, no matter where it is hiding, you will find it. Set yourself to find opportunity. The other thing you need to do, which really we ought to have been doing before, is that we need to become lean and mean. All right, we want to ensure that all the people who are on our payroll really should be there. And the thing is, you really want as a business to do as much as you can for your people, but it doesn't make sense doing that and then sacrificing the organization in the end. So sometimes you have to make a decision that may not always be in the best interest of the team members that you may have on staff. However, you may need to make a decision in order to help your business to remain in business so that you can support them again at some point in the future. You have to take a look at all of that. You have to ensure that all your people who are with you are producing and bringing in return for your organization. You have to know that. You have to understand that. Especially as an entrepreneur, larger entities, they have people to calculate all of these things for them. But you as an entrepreneur, you have to get this down. Part of knowing your numbers is knowing the return on the investment on every team member. It is very critical for you to understand that and for you to know that. It is also critical for you to understand those numbers in terms of your products, not just overall in your business, in terms of how your business is performing from a profitability standpoint, holistically, but you want to get that down by product, by service, so that you will know your better performing products. And those things that are not performing or maybe eroding the profitability of other products, you may have to bench them, at least in this season, if they are not providing any other meaningful role in the business or securing your market. All right, you have to look at all of that as a leader. You have to become lean and mean. As a leader, one of the other things that you need to do is that you have to become crystal clear on the vision for this period. And I'm not talking about the organizational vision statement. I'm talking about every season of an organization requires a different focus. You have to be able to determine, one, what that is, two, and to be able to articulate it, write it out, say it out. And then you have to communicate that compellingly and passionately to your team. Because during the recession or any other crisis-like event, you may require a particular posture, a particular mindset, a particular goal may be at hand that may be different from the usual goal when we don't have such events occurring. You have to determine what that is and communicate that to your team before it happens, so you can start preparing your team for that. The other thing that I want to say is, do not stop investing. Many people stop investing during a recession, but a lot of wealthy people, that's when they do most of their investing because they get a lot of things dog cheap, as we would say. However, I want to encourage you to continue investing in your people, the people who you do keep, the people who are there with you continuing through that storm. Now, you're not going to kill your people out and give one person 5 jobs to do. You don't want to do that. But what you want to do is to invest in the right people and invest in them the right way. Because you have to have the right people doing the right things with the right skill set, but also with the right mindset and also with the right attitude. One of the things that I have found is that when companies invest in their leaders, by virtue they invest in everyone else under the leader. And when it comes to the recession, you have to be picky and choosy how you are going to spend your money. Leadership development in this period is no longer nice to have. It is an absolute necessity, because that is how you're going to invest in all your other leaders. I had a client that called me one time and said, Saf, I am struggling with my customer service team and I don't know how to get on top of it. I think they need some customer service training. And when I discussed with them the kinds of issues that they were facing, I asked, can I have a conversation with your customer service manager? When I had the conversation with your customer service manager, it is then I learned where the root of the issue was. The root of the issue was not customer service training being required. The root of the issue was that they had a leader who was toxic, who was disengaged, who had a low morale, and what that person was doing was contaminating the rest of the team with his toxicity. And that created a lot of issues that customer service training would not have been able to counteract. In that moment, they needed to diagnose and treat the issue of a toxic leader. And so I want to encourage you, you cannot afford to have a toxic leader, because a toxic leader will toxify your entire team. You have to become crystal clear on what you need, who you need to invest in, and how you need to invest in them. And you want to do that sooner rather than later. Too often I have seen companies hemorrhage costs, hemorrhage people, because they did not treat with leadership issues. During a recession or any other crisis-like event, you cannot afford that on top of a restricted economy or market. So I want to encourage you, as you prepare yourself and your team for the incoming recession, prepare them holistically. Don't just look external to your organization and how you would survive, but get to understand internally who you need, what you need to survive. And it's not always cutting your staff down and letting one person, as I said, do 5 jobs, but it's strengthening your leadership role so that they will be able to make the best of who they have, and to keep them sane, to keep them focused, to keep them productive, to keep them happy. The last thing I want to say to you as a leader is that make the best decision for your organization. I want to encourage you and to give you a bit of strength and encouragement in that area, because sometimes making the right decision is not always easy. In this season where things are tightening, sometimes you are forced to lay off staff or to even cut salaries, and some of those things that end up being very critical for the organization's survival. You want to do those things in a humane way. You want to consider that people have families, they have commitments, and they should be given notice, they should be given opportunities, even to probably secure another job, rather than they finding out very, very quickly and then scrambling to keep themselves and their families going. It does not make sense to shy away from the decision and then the organization end up being tanked in the process, because you want to be around, even if it is later on, to rehire some of those same persons. But if it is the organization fails overall, then it wouldn't be able to keep you or anyone else afloat. So I want to encourage you, make the best decision for your organization. Communicate with your people. Be transparent. Let them know what is happening. Give them an opportunity to contribute to the solution. Your people are with you on this journey. They are with you. Allow them to be a part of the process. And if it comes down to you having to lay people off, then do it in a humane way. Do it in a way that will create the least amount of disruption in your team member's life, and give them an opportunity for a bright future, just as you are trying to do for your organization. It doesn't hurt. You don't have to choose one or the other. You can do both. So I want to encourage you, go through strong, go through positively, find the opportunities, capitalize. This recession doesn't have to create difficulties for you or your organization. It may even be one of the best seasons that your organization has ever seen. But you as the leader will be the determinant for that. Take care now, until next time.